Every day we're just bombarded with the Wonderkid narrative. The 17-year-old boy who's making 400,000 a month selling AI automation services via his agency. Or the beauty brand that was built by this 25-year-old who started selling her products on Instagram and become the first self-made billionaire under 25. And it feels like living proof that if you're in your late 30s and you haven't made it yet on YouTube or haven't started yet, you just missed your shot. Out of my own experience, I have recently left a job as the CEO of 2 successful marketing technology companies. And I helped build products that reached over 6 million creators worldwide and have worked one-on-one with hundreds of them. And still, when I thought about starting on YouTube, insecurity crept in. Is it too late for me to get started? As a very data-driven kind of person, I decided to venture into this research about whether or not there are people over their 30s and 40s being wildly successful on YouTube. And what I found out is that 2025 might be the best year ever for you to start on YouTube. And there are plenty of examples of people who started pretty late in their life and are still crushing it on YouTube. The platform is not really shutting out for late starters. In fact, this may be the best time ever for you to start a new channel if you're in your late 30s and beyond. So if you stay with me on this video, I'll show you what's the playbook for the people who are crushing it on YouTube in their late 30s and beyond, and why now might be the best time ever for you to get started. And before we do that, I have a huge favor to ask. I'm just starting this YouTube channel, so hit subscribe if you're in your late 30s and beyond and want to start on YouTube. Throughout my research, the first case that drawn my attention was Alexa Saarenoja. She started her channel a little over a year ago and has already amassed over 50,000 subscribers. And she's made well over 6 figures in revenue in this limited time period. Now, mind you, she's the mother of 3 kids and does YouTube while managing all her household and her kids' needs. You might think that in your age, your worst regrets are behind you, but in fact, they may be ahead of you. The first one is related to money. If you're like me and you have been working in a job for the past few years, you know that your salary is the actual limit to whatever it is that you have in ambition. After working 8 years in the same business myself, I started very low in the support team to becoming the CEO of the technology products of the business. And I knew I couldn't grow more than what the founders were willing to commit in terms of the company's leadership compensation. But with YouTube, this is totally different. You can actually stack different income sources out of YouTube. Whether it's ad revenue, it's affiliate products, courses, mentorship, coaching, and cohorts. The better you get at offering and servicing those products to your audience, more your income will compound year over year. So it's not limited like a traditional job. So 2 years from now, if you haven't started on YouTube, you're gonna miss out on 2 years of compounding revenue that you could be stacking up based on your YouTube presence. There's this theory of your 1,000 true fans. It basically consists of the idea that if you're able to make an average of $100 per each true follower, and you have 1,000 true followers, this is 100,000 per year. And I'm not saying that every subscriber on YouTube is gonna be a true follower, but you can see based on this number that you don't really need a lot of true fans or subscribers to become successful on YouTube as a viable business. The second thing you could be regretting 2 years from now is timing, because today is actually the best time for you to start on YouTube. YouTube is currently amassing more views than Netflix and Disney Plus combined. And I don't know if you noticed, but the algorithm seems to be tilting towards small creators. Whereas 1 or 2 years ago, you wouldn't see a lot of video recommendations in your YouTube homepage belonging to smaller channels. Today, you see a lot of channels that haven't yet conquered their first 10,000 subscribers being recommended on YouTube's homepage. This shift indicates that YouTube is now favoring small creators more than ever. The third thing that you don't want to regret is the skills that you're not going to acquire if you don't start on YouTube. Every upload counts as a rep. It's like going to the gym. Every rep makes you stronger and it makes the exercises easier. And you can lift more weights as you get better trained. With YouTube, you're gonna stack skills like editing, public speaking, camera confidence, persuasion, business strategy, marketing, just to name a few. And it's an acquisition of lifelong skills that are gonna follow you through many other professional endeavors, even if you decide that YouTube is not for you by the end of that process. And not less importantly, it's the identity, the person you're not gonna become if you don't start on YouTube. Because after your 30s, life gets a little bit repetitive, doesn't it? You see the same friends, you go to the same places, you're into the same habits for quite a long time. And YouTube is the kind of thing that breaks that loop. It will force you into acquiring new skills, into becoming a different kind of person. And that's the kind of change that will impact your life in ways that you don't expect. You're gonna grow faster than ever. Now, it's important that you forget about this Wonderkid narrative. As I started doing research for this video, I found out that there's a lot of people that are not just thriving on YouTube, they're crushing it. And some of them started in their 50s. Like Beato. This guy started his channel at 54 years old. And he's now known as one of the top music production channels on YouTube, with millions of subscribers and millions of views. Needless to say, this became an entirely new business for Nick. Or take Marlena Stell, for example. She was a teacher and a beauty professional. And when she started her channel, she was well over her 30s. And that channel became a multi-million-dollar brand, The Makeup Geek. Or take Scott Voelker, who started his channel in his 40s after being really successful selling products on Amazon. He decided to teach other people how to build brands and sell products on e-commerce. And he's made well over $1 million out of his YouTube channel. He even started a new channel with his son more recently. Or take Derral Eves. This guy was really successful as a marketer working in agencies. He started his YouTube channel about YouTube and brand building, and he's now one of the most sought after professionals out there, with hundreds of thousands of subscribers as well. And for those of us who are starting over their 30s, it's the level of maturity, the scars, and the unique perspective that we've built over the years working professionally in different areas that gives us an edge that no one else who's younger than us can outcompete. People are sick and tired of those listicle videos that seem like they were churned out of ChatGPT by a shirtless guy in a dark room. The easier it becomes creating content with the help of AI and other tools, the more successful people who have actual experience will be. It seems like the older the person gets, more depth and emotion the stories that they tell carry. And in my research, I found out that MIT and Harvard confirmed that reasoning, vocabulary, emotional intelligence, all of those things, they peak when we're in our 30s and 40s, which gives us the ability to tell better stories, to have more emotional depth, more empathy, and overall being better conversationalists. That actually makes sense, right? Because in your late 30s and beyond, you've actually gone through a lot of experiences, so you're not easily impressed upon. You have better judgment, and there's less chasing of shiny objects if you think about it. So forget about the idea that you're competing against 19-year-olds. You're playing with the full weight of your experience and emotional depth, storytelling, and all the scars and experience that you bring to the table. So use the moment that you're in and the moment that YouTube is in. Recently, YouTube CEO Neil Mohan confirmed that they're treating creators like the new startups, which means they're promoting new creators more than ever. Last year alone, YouTube added $55 billion to the United States economy, supporting nearly 500,000 jobs. That's a lot. And over 50% of everyone who's making more than 5 figures on YouTube, they're stacking up revenue streams beyond ads. It's a lot of money that's being pumped into the economy. Now, I hope you understand how big this opportunity is, because now I'm going to share the playbook that allows you to start smart and grow faster by modeling after some of the observations that I had of the players that were the most successful in this environment. The first principle that all of them follow is treating YouTube as a business from day one. These channels are typically addressing one core avatar, one core ideal viewer persona. So for instance, you could be addressing landscapers, their unique needs, their unique problems, things that they face in their professional lives that they're willing to invest money to solve. People who are successful on YouTube, they pick real markets. They are not just talking to someone that they empathize with. They're choosing to address an existing market with real problems to be solved and real needs to be addressed through their content. They're approaching their production like a production line. They typically have a system in place to create videos at scale in a way that they can actually sustain over time. Because the last thing you want is to start on YouTube and then not being able to follow through. You need to treat this like a business where you have a system to do the things that you need to do on a regular basis. The second principle that I've seen that they are following is simplifying production. For those who are starting, they usually go with their phone and a simple light system, like being in front of a window where the natural light is just good enough for them to record their content. Or going outside in a walk, something that makes it that simple for them to follow on a regular basis and doesn't demand any upfront investment. They're focusing on building momentum and not on having something super polished. The third principle is picking a format that works and sticking to it, especially when you find out that your audience resonates with it. And the three core formats that are working the best right now is the journey format. It's basically sharing with others your transformation or going from point A to point B. For instance, the channel that I shared in the beginning of this video, Alexa Saarenoja, she shared her journey starting a YouTube channel from zero and growing that to a business that's making over 6 figures. That helped her build a sense of community and engagement with her fans, in which every video she launches, there's a bunch of comments from her followers. The second format is building in public. It shares some commonalities with the journey one. It's about sharing the process, the behind the curtains of what you're trying to accomplish. So if you're building a product, what does that look like? What kinds of mistakes you're making? What kind of issues you're running into? How you're solving them? What kind of pain points you're going through. These two formats allow you to connect in a deep and sometimes even emotional level with your audience and take out some of the old glamour that a lot of creators associate with their brands as if they were perfect. People like seeing imperfections. And the third one that I've seen working is the expert mode kind of video, where you're basically investing in education, but sharing out of your lived experiences. So for instance, as part of my current content strategy, I'm currently talking a lot about YouTube because in one of my previous experiences, I helped build a channel from 200,000 subscribers to 1 million subscribers. So I know a couple of things about YouTube and I can speak about that, which connects with the fourth principle that I've seen all of them deploy, which is leveraging their experiences. Sharing what experiences you had in the past allows you to connect with people in a more human level. You can speak about your observations of the patterns you observed over the years in your industry and even the problems that you helped solve within that specific space. And again, it's something that younger people wouldn't be able to because they don't have the experience that you have. The fifth principle that I've seen people deploy is systematizing. Based on the experience that they acquired over the years, they share their checklists, their processes, their templates, everything that they found out that's repeatable and systematizable or can be put into the form of a system so that other people can take and deploy in their own businesses. And last but not least, the sixth principle that I've seen being deployed over and over again is being real. The creators that are the most successful, they kind of keep their quirks. They connect with people without trying to sound or seem perfect. They speak more casually, they share the problems that they're facing, and they're overall just more relatable. Now, if you decide that you're not starting on YouTube, that's fine. But if this is something that you've been entertaining for a long time, the regret is going to be real 2 years from now if you don't. The proof is really all around you. There's plenty of people succeeding. YouTube is opening its doors. Science confirms that in your 30s and 40s, you're at the peak of certain skills in your life. And you know the playbook. The only thing that's required right now is that you press record and put yourself out there. So here's the truth. It's not too late. It's not even close to that. And if you're ready to start, the next roadblock is really just figuring out what kind of videos you're going to create. And I got you covered. I created a system that allows you to never run out of ideas. And it's the exact method that I followed to create over 600 scripts for another creator, helping him grow his channel from 200,000 subscribers to 1 million. And if you want to learn that system, you should see a video here somewhere and I'll walk you through the infinite content matrix so you always know what to talk about in your next video. See you there.